Mr. Range, how was your week?
My week has been going so well, and I'm very much excited. I think you know that this is like one of the best shows I enjoy the most, and one of the reasons is because we're talking to people who affect the economy of the country. You know,
Yeah.
people who are not scared of taking risk, people who look forward to changing. You know, the status quo.
If you are an entrepreneur and
Yeah.
you want to join us, hit us up
Sure.
and Reggie will give you our details. Just
Sure.
hit us up. We love promoting small businesses.
Sure.
We love just
Sure.
talking to you guys. So
Yeah.
hit us up. We'll have you in studio and we'll come and have a conversation. We
Yeah.
want to hear your stories. We want to hear what you have learned. And we have another entrepreneur in studio
Yes.
today. It's going to
Sure.
be a fire. We had to turn on the aircon because they she's
Yes, she's like her, you know. And I mean, we also like hearing about people's journey, you know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, we undergo a lot in this journey of life. Maybe it can be starting from our academics, going into the workspace, those executive positions, you know, Mr. Ndando, and then now even getting to a point where you are a senior in a company, you know. So all of those things, we like having conversations about them, and just to raise an awareness to the public out there that look, there's people who are doing it.
Uh-huh.
And
some
today,
of us are here.
Yeah, they are here today. I mean, today we have an amazing guest. Let me just get the profile. Sure. I've met the guest for quite a number of years, and I've been observing their work, Mr. Nando. Very impactful, you know.
Okay.
If you talk about people with purpose, and I think we will speak more on also on their journey. And one of the other things I salute them for is the network, you know. And their network.
You are network. You sure?
Their network is so amazing.
We are also just networked.
Yeah, we are now today. I networked you.
Up.
And to the guest, please allow me. This time around, I'm going to be charging Mr. Ndando for this network because I can't keep on connecting him on this data that is so expensive. And now I'm using my network free of charge. We cannot be doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have with us Sandra Ncube, who is a PhD candidate at Wits University, a certified business coach. I know you'd like that. I knew you'd like that. A strategist and an HR consultant. She is a holder of an MBA from Wits Business School. She graduated with a BCom cum laude. Yeah, cum laude.
They tell me it's important.
Do you know you cum laude, Mr. Ndando?
Hey, those are some of the things that escaped us in life. You know, we were surviving.
We're surviving, yeah?
Not cum laude.
Sure. We're applying the crème pass and forget type of method during those times. But listen, so she graduated with BCom cum laude and honors in business management and other academic certificates. She is responsible for strategy, impact, and compliance at GFR and Takuwani projects. She is the chief enterprise officer of Mickey & Co. and a co-founder of an NPO. She believes in women, and she believes also that women are born for greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as you stand. And Mr. Ndando and I have been standing as we welcome Mrs. Sandra Ncube. Welcome, Mami.
Thank you so much, Reggie and Ndando. You guys, the introduction. Was that necessary?
Sure, no, we need to name them all. You know, we leave no stone unturned. And I think one of the reasons we're doing that is just to encourage also our listeners. You know, our listeners at home, we have young adults who are listening to us. They need to see that this is all possible. You know, it's not a far-fetched thing.
you don't get cum laude and you think we'll avoid it. How?
Oh, no. It's not possible.
It's many years ago, though.
Sure. But it's still there, it's still there. And I'm believing that there's certain actions that you had to put, in order for you to be able to achieve that, But otherwise, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Sure.
The last time I was on a radio interview, it was all online, so
Yeah.
this is fancy, Reggie.
was it during COVID?
Yes, or just after COVID.
Or just
because
after
know
COVID.
during COVID there was a lot of the Zoom sessions.
Sure.
So I think it was just after COVID. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, welcome to the live studio, where we will be getting to hear live, on a face-to-face, and I'm busy connecting Mr. Ntando to the very same line we are having, and we just really want to hear about your journey, Who is Sandra?
Wow, that question.
It's a difficult one. You feel like but I mean, you're an HR strategist. I'm feeding you your own medicine now. You know that question, Mr. Ntando, yes.
When you're in an interview, it's a bit intimidating.
Sure.
But in a radio station, take it a bit chilled. We want to know how did you become a coach?
Sure.
How did you become this Sandra that we see? Yeah.
No, Sandra, first and foremost, Reggie, I'm a child of God.
Sure.
I cannot introduce myself outside my God.
Sure.
That won't work. I'm a child of God. I love God with my whole heart. Besides the accolades that you have heard, I'm also a mother, a mother of 3. What else? I love reading, traveling, and I also love getting to know people. I do networking for a living. So, and my daughter, I love family. I love the grounding of family. And I believe that I've become the woman that I've become because of the lovely women that I stand on their shoulders. My mom, my grandmother, my aunts, my sisters, So I would say first and foremost, my faith first. I'm a child of God. I'm a family-oriented businesswoman / social entrepreneur. I know you speak to a lot of capitalist entrepreneurs, but I'm
You're the social
entrepreneur version. Yes, that's Sandra for you.
When you say you network for a living, what does that look like? I'm curious.
It's not to get money, but I'm always, they say your network is your network is your network. So it's so important to get to know people. Networking for me is not just, hi Reggie, I'm Sandra, but getting to know Reggie. What does Reggie like? What does he do? I know he loves fast cars, nice cars. So when you do that to people, they get to also have an interest in who you are and what you do and the stuff that you stand for. So I'm always genuinely concerned to get to know other people.
Also, when you go to networking events and just business functions, you go the extra mile when you engage with people in conversation.
For me, especially with networking events, because I attend a number of them, I don't attend all of them. Value is important. I'm one person with 24 hours a day. I cannot spread myself that thin. I'll go to an event with 200 people, but just speak to maybe 5 and get to know them really well. That's networking for me. It's pointless to be known by 200 people and you don't know anyone. So that's my approach.
So tell me, networking, I think we discuss it a lot in this show actually. What has it done for you? Because you get those people who would be like, I'm an introvert, I don't like people, but
they need encouragement.
They need encouragement to what? To network.
To network when they hear a success story. And I like the way you framed the question. What has networking done
for you?
Oh my God, so much. I don't know. I'm one of those people who read the room. So I'm loud when it's necessary to be loud. So my rating is 60% extroverted, which means there's a big also chunk of me being introverted.
Yes.
So I like what you say, that most introverts find it difficult to network, but I feel like networking is actually, it works. You said, what did it do? It works for introverts more than, well, let me not weigh. But what it has done for me, when people say getting out of the shell, getting out of the shell is not you stopping being an introvert, but it's exactly being able to go to a person whom you think you've got similar interest, or you can learn, if they're different, you can learn from them, and then having a conversation. And from every conversation, you will never go empty-handed. There's something that you're going to learn. It has taken me to places. I have one person that I appreciate so much in my life. Her name is Roshin. You've met her.
I've met
I hope you invite her.
Yeah, one time. We
Tina and some other ladies.
She's our network.
Oh, there she is. She's actually online. So these are some of the women who sort of encouraged me to go into this space of saying, you know what, it's not enough to just be in the circle that you know, the people that already know who Sandra is and what she does. So besides it taking me physically to places, this year I was in Qatar, in Doha, for a networking event.
I'm in your network now.
I'm charging you.
I just came from Cape Town. This was part of my church. But all this has come because of networking. So business opportunities, I've had clients, Reggie, clients, good clients that I've met because of networking. Mentors. Right now, there's a lady that who's mentoring me. I met her through someone that I met at a networking event. And then that person connected us and was like, you guys will make the best match. And that person has done so much in business. That woman is one of the, greatest women in business here in South Africa, and she's taking her time to mentor me. So I really appreciate that. So networking has done a lot for me. I'm so grateful to have,
met mentors, traveled around the world.
Due to networking.
Yeah. I know, we're in your network.
We good. Ask you, Mr.
Yes.
What has you networking?
Today is not about me.
I'm trying to check my value.
Boy wants to know how valuable he is.
How valuable. I'm a console,
Now I know Reggie because of networking. I'm a client of Reggie.
Now I know you because of Reggie. So, yes, I'm a fan of you.
But the thing is, my networking, when I pass it, I charge. I think I'm an opportunity. Yes,
but as a business coach now, what has that experience been like? Are you coaching small businesses or medium to high growth entrepreneurs?
So my approach, especially with business coaching, because back to the issue of time, we have our own businesses that we are running. So my time is really limited. So I tend to be intentional with who I coach. So it's not for everyone. But what we've done as well, Reggie was talking about some of the events that we hold, and through those, that's where I've actually met the people that I end up saying, can't we have a conversation outside this? I've got one lady who was in Cape Town. We met about 3 years back at one of the high teas, and she's like, after that, the following day, can we have a sit down? We had a sit down. We had a plan for her, and she went on to start her business. I think for her, fear was holding her back. But because of those coaching sessions, she went on to start a business, and it's an ICT-based training business. So she had actually a first cohort graduate last year. So I'm not really opening it up, because I'm also cognizant of the time that I have available to do all the things that I want to do. And the reason for that is, very well, biological clock clashes with the productive clock. So I can't do it, or I can just choose what I can focus on.
Sure.
Interesting. I want to pick up on some of the success stories, because that's always a beautiful thing to hear from a coach. What are some of the clients that really, when you look at the work that you did with them, they make you feel proud and the work is meaningful?
I can actually give you some.
Okay.
I've attended their event.
Is it?
Yeah, amazing. And one of the most things that I liked is how the networking is not only limited like to a particular space. They can look at one individual who's just in catering, and then they put them in a room with people who are in mining. And then if you look at that, for me, that alone is coaching. Because when you put me in a room with people who are doing extremely well,
and who can give you work?
Sure, who can possibly give me work also, So for me, that alone is coaching. And I've seen young ladies who just graduated, and I mean, we're living in a very tough economy in South Africa. Some may be thinking, I just have to wait for work, But then already when you put them in such a room and then you're exposing to other great people who are doing amazing things in the world, in the economy, then they get to see that, oh, actually, there is an opportunity for me also in this economy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so the impact is not only on business,
but
it's on every other facet of life.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, the other day I was trying to say, can we step a bit back and redefine the empowered woman? Who is this person that we're trying to empower? Everyone is running an empowerment event right now.
Sure, true.
But what kind of woman do we want to see? And for me, it's that wholesome person who's very sure of who she is, sure of herself, be it self-esteem, be it going after opportunities, be it deciding what her destiny looks like. So if I were to give some of the examples, there's one story that really I carry with my heart. And it's not someone who came back and said, oh guys, I've made $1 million. Yes, we've got those. But it's someone who said, I came to your business high tea. I have heard of goal setting. People talk about vision boarding and all that. But when I left that event, I set 1, 2, 3 goals, and she's very clear, and she's mentioning them, which is that clarity that we've been trying to push to say, as long as you're not clear about where you want to go, you end nowhere, or anywhere you end is actually fine. So this person says, I've already started saving towards this. Because now people come and say, you must learn how to budget and to save. But save towards what? So now this person comes back and say, for the first time, I was able to take my family on a vacation.
Sure.
And I the whole family, not just me or me and my child, or I took the whole family with me and I paid the flights for them. I paid hotel accommodation. It's something that I've never done, as an intentional thing, but because I attended the event, I came out with this tangible thing, and this is what I've been working towards during the course of this year. That made me realize it's beyond just getting the next big car, all these kind of things. Yeah. Okay. That wholesome person.
No, that's a beautiful story, well articulated vision, if I can put it that way. When you look at the businesses, though, what would you say are the top 3 mistakes that you see small businesses making? I know there are many.
There are many, right? I think the first one, a lot of people are not patient. They are not patient to build. People are afraid to be seen struggling. Especially young people. We are so afraid to be seen struggling.
Sure.
We want to have this perfect life too soon.
Sure.
And there you are, you're trying to drive the latest car, you're trying to stay in the fanciest of suburbs, you're trying to run a business. Guy, we do bootstrapping in business. We start from the bottom. I've got my social enterprise, that one.
Yes, yeah.
And I've been treating it as a baby.
Sure.
Letting it grow. It's actually called Mia Care & Co. It's women-focused clothing manufacturing.
Sure.
Develop skills for women, and goes beyond just the working to support them. Those are the skills that we do the coaching elsewhere. We also do it for those women. Right now it's 90% women. So that started from the bottom. There's always this risk of taking John to cover Peter. In this case, I would use our other business, which is making money, to just make this thing look like it's perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
You will never grow a business with that attitude.
Sure.
Let it grow organically. Learn the mistakes. Learn from the mistakes. Go through the ropes. Go through the process. I'm a lady. I have 3 kids. Birthing them wasn't easy. I'll tell you that. Wasn't comfortable. But we went through. Today we are happy, we are smiling, we've got kids. So it's the same with the business process.
Sure.
You have to go through all those challenges. You have to go through all those, with our business, there's returns, there's cancellations, and you persevere. So the biggest, you say 3, I'll give you 1 because it covers a lot.
Sure.
People are so afraid to be seen struggling.
Sure.
You made 0 sales, that's okay. They say when you are tired, rest.
Sure.
Then pick it up, you continue. So we live by, we try again as if we know no failure. So for me, the major mistake that most people do is trying to paintbrush a small business with this success shiny look. Let it be. Let it be. It's muddy,
Sure.
It's messy,
Sure.
It's something else. But guess what? It's the business process. They say trust the process, but a lot of people don't trust the process.
We don't trust the process.
There are so many answers in that one.
I was just thinking about how many things I've been taking, But what would you say the reason is? Why are we painting the business as if it's doing so well,
And the challenge with painting it, you never get the help that you actually need. Because you are not being honest with yourself, with where you are and what you are going through. So the first problem is that but the reason mainly is we celebrate success. We don't say much about failure. And yet failure is just a very permanent feature in the business journey. So I think the challenge which is there, and we are the Gram family, we want to be posting. We want to be seen that Reggie now has you hear Badu open store number 34.
Sure.
Me too. Excuse me, but at what expense? So for me, I don't know the next person's journey. I can only live my own journey. I can only embrace my own journey. So besides all that pressure which is coming from everyone, the founder of our church, his name is Ezekiel Guti. He's late, he passed at 100. Our church is called Forward in Faith Ministries. He said one fundamental thing, and he said that when you see a person in business, they don't have money, they are looking for money. But the minute I used to be an employee, I was retrenched during COVID. Beautiful job that I had, but that job is gone. This is a whole new journey whatsoever. I'm here looking for money. When I had a job, I knew every month without fail I've got this much money. I sometimes it's actually better to have a job. I'm saying it because this journey is a rough one. So, but the minute you wear the hat, so I've had to have conversations with my family members. Look, guys, I'm in business. These people that you see who are called employees, they need the money from me. So if you are going to expect those spoilings that I used to do when I had a guaranteed paycheck and a 13 check, forget about it, because in this journey we are looking for money. We are not yet there.
So I'm a victim of this. Mr. Ndalo knows. When I first started a business, mainly it was because I'm laughing. Eh?
Go for it.
When I started a business, so there's like a surrounding that I had right after joining my job, and they were telling me, yeah, you're still going to struggle here. You know, and they were telling me how, and then the question was, so how do I actually become successful and happy? They were like, go into business. You know, go and do business, and yeah, there you will have like money, like
the life that you are.
You know, and I'm telling you, right after receiving that SMS from CIPC, from SARS telling me, look, company ABC Pty Ltd has been registered even for SARS. I was excited. I felt so
CK.
So yeah, I felt
CK entrepreneur.
So wealthy, you know. And yeah, I actually think maybe that's why we put up an image of like we paint that brush to say no, business is just going so well, you know, because of the first pressure and the reason why I actually went into business. It was not for I identified an opportunity, I saw a problem, and then I'm speaking to this problem, but it was, the mindset was on money, and then it is said when you, I mean, think of that one time when you started owning a bank card that had your name and the business name on it.
Feels good.
It was amazing.
It's amazing. But you have the money to pay for those bank fees at the end of, do you have money to pay for the annual returns at CIBC?
Sure.
So yeah, it's there's always that, because now, remember, on your LinkedIn, you quickly write CEO of.
Yeah, founder,
director, managing director.
Sure.
So there's my friend Admire always says CK is not a business, guys. You can have 20 of them.
Yeah.
So the challenge is we you know, it's the ultimate. The CEO is the ultimate. I call the shots. But calling the shots comes with responsibility,
with
comes
cost.
with obligation,
Yeah.
it comes at an expense, at a cost. So now, between the CK and the money in the bank can take 10 years, can take 15, 20, or 3 months. It depends. So now, as long as a person goes into the business for the money, chances are they will soon be frustrated.
Sure.
Because that business will milk them dry. The business needs the money. The business is taking money from you until a time when it can stay. That's why I say it's an entity. It's got its own persona. So it's gonna, you know, if you've got a child, you know how expensive the child is.
Sure.
So if your business is small, it's equated to a child. It's gonna need resources from you. So I think that's one of the pitfalls that we have today is that we don't understand that to make that money, it takes a while. It takes a long while after a lot of, yeah.
Sure. Let's talk about your business. You keep mentioning your business and slightly, maybe there are customers that you might get here. So what is this business?
Okay, so right now, besides Miyake and Co, which I've explained to you, that it's a social enterprise which is offering your corporate wear, custom made, made in South Africa, proudly made in South Africa.
Corporate
proudly made in South Africa, your workwear. We do sometimes, you know, individual orders, but yeah, our biggest orders at this stage, they are mainly on corporate wear and teamwear in general, your golf t-shirts and so forth. I'm also an independent HR consultant. I always say to people, before you call me for CCMA, call me to put your house in order.
Sure.
So I've got my clients that I service with your full HR it's more of a generalist because I'm from A to Z. Your HR operational and even HR strategy, as well as your day-to-day issues, your employee management issues, conflict resolution, basic contracts being put in place, those kind of services, disciplinary issues, I handle those as well.
Like discipline.
Yeah, because you know how the labor law is in South Africa, it's quite strict. So if you don't know the procedures, if you don't follow them to the T, you can really go through challenges with CCMA, with the labor courts and so forth. So I help my clients in that space of HR. Mainly it's businesses that might not have a full-time resource or might have maybe an administrator, but they need somebody to assist their maybe HR administrator who's at a senior level, instead of incurring that full-term cost of having me at your office. You can hire me part-time like that. And
That's
also we've got other consulting, project management and so forth. That's our family business. So those are some of the things that I do.
You're an entrepreneur with many businesses on the pod. All right, so you spoke so well about networking, and in the businesses that you're in, what can you teach someone about the importance of just getting clients or how to get clients? Because I'm asking, you mentioned that there are entrepreneurs that will get 0 sales in a month. That hurts.
Yeah.
And that's something that, as much as in 1 month you can give yourself grace, but you can't keep giving yourself grace and tolerating it. You need to figure out how to go out there and get customers. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, so to respond to that, I'll just take you a little bit back on my journey. The time that I finished varsity, where you're mentioning cum laude.
Sure.
That word.
Yeah. So there was a time that I could not. So I went to school. I had me and Reggie. We don't use the word side hustle, because we say a business is a business.
It's a business.
Whether it's big or whatever, because I've got an expectation that this business will grow. I cannot call it something else. It's a business.
It's a business.
Okay.
Sure.
So there were small businesses that I was doing as a student, and then I moved places. I was in Limpopo. I moved to Nelspruit, and then when I got there, I struggled to find out what do I do in this place, new place. I don't know the people, and my trade, it wasn't really doing so well. What I was doing previously was doing good. So I found myself at 0.
Stuck.
So now I had to change the business that I was doing totally.
Okay.
So now, but in my mindset, I was looking for a job, by the way. So you know how we are as young people, you go to varsity so that you get a nice, good job with a good, which will give you a good pension, and then you. So this is me. No job is coming through. I attend interviews, but no one is taking me because of experience. I went to the street. There's a street called Anderson Street in Nelspruit. I sat there. I sold Avon with a cum laude, distinction after distinction. I sat on the street. Why I'm sharing this experience is the lessons that I drew from that experience.
Powerful.
At school, I thought that to find clients, you have to do good presentations, PPTs, you write proposals and send to them. Then on the street, I found out those things don't work. You've got to get out of your office, your chair, your house, go and meet people.
Talk to people.
Speak to people physically. And I remember how scared I used to be. And with network marketing, these elements, you need to grow your team. You get paid by growing your team. So it's not enough to only sell the product. You also have to recruit the people into that. So now I found myself, I told you, I first read the room. I'm not always that. So now this is the shy version of me. It's on the street.
Sure.
Girl, you're gonna go with no recruits, no sales, if you don't open your mouth.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I'm now
Nothing
responding
changes.
to you.
Yeah.
Before we talk about beautiful presentation and social media pages, girl, you got to talk to people.
Sure.
Clients come from, you know, you've got to live. If you've got a fancy office or not so fancy office, you've got to be out there.
Sure.
And you can't say, me, I can't sell. And a lot of us are so afraid of selling. We feel like it's low class or whatever.
Sure.
ShopRite is selling.
Of course.
It's just that they're selling at a bigger space.
Sure.
Whoever you can think
Yeah,
of, they're selling. So the
I
first
like-
skill, sell. Go out there, sell.
Love it, and
Sure.
well put. I think the encouragement is to that person that has zero sales. You would ask yourself, how many people did I talk to today
Yeah.
about my business?
Yeah.
Because many don't realize that the week passes and you talked to 2 people in the whole week. But you can be very intentional and get out of your house, get out of the office,
Yeah.
and talk to people.
You know, another thing on that very same line, I think a lot of people are thinking, I need to be a salesperson. You know,
No.
today I interacted with a client actually, and I was telling them, look here, you are a salesperson, you as an individual. You are here at this company, you are selling a particular skill to your boss.
Yeah.
You know, so the moment
Everybody
you
is
realize
a
also, Mr.
salesperson.
Daniel, I once spoke to you. We were talking about. I think it was during COVID, and then we were talking about cutting down, and then we spoke about possibly it's about time you increase your earnings, and then how do you do that? You see what is it that you have as an individual. Yes, I am a maths teacher. I am a science teacher. Such a person, they are easy to assume I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah.
But then if you dig deep into it, you will then notice that you are selling your science or your mathematics expertise to a particular school.
Yeah.
You know,
Every
of
day.
which is something that you can extend it to outside and start selling it online. And then get buyers, or you can even design something and then, that door-to-door knocking. And I like the fact that how we tend to look at sales as it's a low class type of thing, you know, but money is actually in people.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
And until you don't-
we have this mentality that selling is for the poor. But every day we go into shops of
And
people
and
who are
buy.
selling. I don't know Bason, I've never met him,
Sure.
but I buy from that guy maybe 3 or 4 times. I mean,
Sure.
a week. So we have to shift from that mentality, like you say, Reggie, of saying that it's actually, I think for me, it comes from that job mentality. I told you that I was looking for a job.
Sure.
And we think that to be a salesperson is a job. It's somebody who's by the car sales, who's selling cars to people. But we fail to recognize the fact that when you have a conversation with your child in the morning, the negotiation level is the sales event, because
the
there's
sales
conversion.
pitch, yeah.
There's somebody who needs to go buy from the other.
Sure.
So sales is just part of us. You don't have to have particular skills. You don't have to go and look a certain way. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I'm here, I'm on radio. Someone is already checking out Sandra, the business anchor. Who's this? What are their services?
Yeah.
I did not say, hey, Reggie, I'm selling now.
Sure.
But
In a conversation,
You just
you're
had a
already selling.
conversation.
Already.
Someone is sold.
And tell me of a business that is successful without sales.
well,
You will not find one. I'm curious, Sandra, when you were building this team, when it was dry and you started and you're going out and selling, how difficult was it when you're selling with network marketing? From zero to a bigger team, I don't know how big your team got. How hard was it to build the team and to coach them, and what are some of the things that you're coaching them on?
funny, because those skills, they are now more relevant to me now than
Than
they've
back
ever
then.
been. So it was not easy. It was very difficult, because you don't only have to motivate them, you have to motivate yourself. So the biggest challenge was to encourage myself in the first place. Because remember, I still needed to have my own sales, and then encourage them to have sales. And then they will encounter a lot of challenges, and guess what? They will not look for Avrolstein, Avon, IFA, all those things that I was doing, all those network marketings that I was doing. They will come to me. I was the face of the company, and I needed to resolve those issues for them. So it was extremely difficult, but those lessons for me were timeless. And funny enough, later on I realized that, okay, now I've learned what I've learned. I think I built a team of about 12 in 3 months. And then I moved. Yeah. Then I moved to, it was, but it goes back to me, for me, it goes back to goal setting, clarity with goal setting. And I always encourage people to say, whatever you have in your mind, multiply it by 10. And if you multiply it by 10, then change the actions of what you have to do also by 10. So that has been my approach in a lot of things. I remember there's a time that when I stopped doing the network marketing, and then I got a job actually, so I actually went into corporate. But I did not stop. You know, this thing of selling becomes like a bug. So I did not stop selling. I was at work, but I was the tuck shop of work. Because so the shops, our corporate park was a bit distant from the shop. So even the smallest thing like a gum you couldn't get anywhere. So this is me now going to City Deep to buy the stuff that I know that the guys will need at work, and then I stock in my office. I'm not actively selling, like you know what we're saying, that people think you have to actively. People know Sandra got this stuff. Well. And this guy comes to me and is like, "But Sandra, like, how much do you make from these things? Do you really have to do this?" And he knew my husband is also, you know, a high-ranking somebody. Like, can't he give you the money?
Money, are you?
And you stay away from selling chappies.
And the guy is like, I could give you the money. But funny part is, when we got retrenched, you know, now you have got conversations with people. People are like clueless what they are going to do. And for me, we've been selling. And I moved from selling those tiny things. I would take leave during work, go to China, order stuff. Come back, and it is a weekend. And I'm coming to work. I mean, everything is normal. But the skills that I'm learning, the stuff I'm going through, you know, it's like when a caterpillar goes through its stages and now it's time to be a butterfly, it just becomes a butterfly. So when we got retrenched, I remember that week of retrenchment, I made more than my salary. That weekend.
Because now you have more time to sell.
You know, when you were talking about selling, especially in the network marketing, there used to be this thing of how you are recruiting us to sell, and then now we have to find other people to sell to, and then all of us now are in this network marketing. Who are we selling to? You know, and this hit my mind in terms of like market share. You know, think of really how many people are in the world. You know, because most of the time when we're thinking of things to sell, you know, we're just thinking, who am I going to sell to?
7 billion.
7 billion people
potential
in the world.
clients.
You know, I mean, I'm looking at it also in my field of work. Target is continuously increasing.
Oh, your targets.
Yeah, during COVID, when we were thinking, targets will be easy. No. The bank came and said we are increasing the targets, and I'm telling you, we reached those targets. You know, this then goes to show you that look, the cheese is too big.
It is.
The pie is big enough. The pie is big enough.
It's big enough for us to can actually have a bite.
Sandra, I'm curious. There's the natural hustle. Clearly, it's there. It's coming out. Equal. But in terms of developing your competence at selling, did you read books? Did you talk to mentors? Are there other resources that helped you harness the skill?
I cannot, I don't know how to emphasize the issue of reading, studying, being a lifelong learner in any space. Before we talk about selling, because I'm not necessarily, I don't have an office called selling. But I went into human resources by mistake.
Okay.
My initial job was actually in finance and admin. But because I did a degree in business management and I had electives in human resources management, the company at the time, they advertised the position but felt like they did not want an external person joining the company. So I was then moved into HR. As much as, you know, I'm an academically astute human being,
We know.
I went back to school.
Sure.
I did another diploma in human resources. From there, they won't teach you everything.
Sure.
I read books, I read case studies. I immersed myself in the world of HR. So whether it's selling, whether it's, you know, you guys are into speaking, you're into having a conversation.
Sure.
There is no way you can excel in anything except through immersing yourself through reading.
True. True.
Practice is one thing, but first get the knowledge. First get the knowledge. As if you are, I don't know, you just suck out all the knowledge that's there in the world about the topic of